This is the Troll Patrol, live with Justin Freakin.
I have no idea how I ended up being late. I was completely finished putting the show together, everything. Like sitting here enjoying my evening, I'm listening to some music, and like all of a sudden I look down, it's 8 o'clock. I'm like, oh, I need to start this show, don't I? I'm just taking my sweet ass time. Welcome to the Troll Patrol Live. It's a freaking Wednesday. I was on earlier. We watched the Texas House pass the new redistricting map. We're gonna get. It is a Wednesday indeed. But the Wednesday show is back on, right? I think Curiouser told me she was watching it with the kid over the weekend. Meat Cakes, DJ Dub, Clinically, welcome in. We watched the Texas. Let me try again. We watched the Texas State House pass the new redistricting map earlier. And it got really contentious. We'll watch a little clip of it here in a little bit. Little contentious. That's a bit of an understatement. Israel is advancing on Gaza. Bibi has been on the is it triggernometry? Is that the name of it? It's that dude I can't stand, that Christopher's or whatever. Dave plays him all the time. You guys know who I'm talking about. Hate that motherfucker. BB was on this podcast as, you know, his country total onslaught on Gaza. Washington, D.C. has deployed warships off the coast of Venezuela. It's almost like they're trying to distract you from something. Bill Barr giving testimony to Congress about the Epstein files. A federal judge has denied the DOJ request to release grand jury transcripts. A 10 commandment law that was passed by Texas was set to go into effect. The schools had to post the 10 commandments, struck down. Fox News says, no, they get the joke that Gavin Newsom is going for. Meanwhile, Newsom mocks them on a podcast. You're going to see J.D. Vance and Pete Hegseth get booed. My intro music's doing the same like I'm doing, like it's stuttering. J.D. Vance, Pete Hegseth, and I think Stephen Miller was with them. All got booed. A military vehicle has hit a civilian in Washington, D.C. Dr. Phil accused of fraud. A former Mayor Eric Adams' aide has been charged or facing more charges. A judge has denied bond for a man that Nancy Mace accused of being a rapist. A defamation suit against Nancy Mace has been dropped. Nancy admits half the stuff that's out there about her is true, which I hope means that she will be my GOP mommy. I hope that means that she says that's true. An update on this story I know you guys have all wanted an update to. Do you remember last year when a sheriff in Kentucky walked into the judge's chamber at point blank range and killed a judge? We've got new details. People are spilling the beans. And a priest accused of sexual assault has been reinstated. All that and a lot freaking more tonight on the Troll Patrol Live. Good evening. And Achu, welcome in. Anybody else sneak in here on me? Good evening, everyone. Pretending to get the joke. Yeah, Fox is the joke. That's the thing. We're going to start off tonight with, because I'm going to try to get through this pretty fast because Justin wants to get off stream and watch TV tonight. So I want to be out of here by 10 p.m. Eastern. So we got 2 hours to get all the news in. Content warning, it's gonna piss you off. Just another day in genocidal Israel.
Senior case manager with Children Not Numbers. It's an organization that provides aid and support to children in Gaza. And she's joining us from Bangor in Wales.
Well, I thought this was actually going to be about Israel mobilizing National Guard troops, but never mind. Holy shit. Israel has begun its planned Gaza assault, called up 60,000 reservists. There, that should be this video. No. This video. No? Well, goddamn it. Tried to get a full screen video. The cutie that works at the country store.
فيش ولا نوع من الحياة يعني احنا بدنا نرجع ما فيش مية ما فيش مسكن ما فيش ضوء فيش خيمة نقعد فيها هالوقت وعلي اللي هو على قدرة صواريخ وقصص يعني مش هنقدر نعيشها.
Israel is also calling up 60,000 reserve soldiers. Israel Defense Minister Israel Katz approved the expanded. Will deepen the. Fuck, it's going too fast for me. God damn it! I'm sorry, guys. It doesn't let me rewind. Oh my. Israel says it has begun a new offensive to seize Gaza City and forcibly displace about 1 million residents, carrying out widespread attacks that killed dozens of Palestinians and unveiling plans to call up tens of thousands of army reservists. Hamas has denounced the Israel military's assault on the city, accusing Israel Prime Minister Netanyahu of disregarding international mediators' efforts to reach a ceasefire. Apparently, Hamas agreed to a ceasefire yesterday, one that was brokered by Egypt, and Israel said, U.S. has imposed new sanctions on International Criminal Court officials over the court's investigation into Israeli war crimes in Gaza. World leaders have condemned Israel's approval of the so-called E1 settlement expansion project in the occupied West Bank, saying the plan will sever the Palestinian territory and effectively destroy hopes for a two-state solution. Now, I think a two-state solution is long in the rear view, but what they're talking about is this. I've got a piece from the AP on it. Palestinians are worried that this newly announced settlement, strategic announced settlement, of course, illegal settlement, yeah, honestly, it should be the state of Palestine. The former state of Israel.
مشروع ايوان يبلش من هاي النقطة امتدادا إلى المنطقة الجنوبية الشمالية الشرقية للعزرية وبلدة الزعيم. مشروع ايوان يستهدف.
Well, I figured they were going to translate, but there's no subtitles and there's no English speaker over it. Are you serious?
أكثر من 22 تجمع بدوي لعرب الجاهلين في هذه المنطقة. مشروع ايوان يستهدف ربط مستوطنة معالي أديميم والكتل الاستيطانية في السفوح الشرقية لمدينة القدس بمدينة القدس بشكل فعلي. مشروع ايوان يستهدف إلى فصل شمال الضفة الغربية عن جنوبها. يعني إذا حكينا على مشروع ايوان هو دق النعش الأخير في حلم إقامة الدولة الفلسطينية متوسط.
Okay. Here we go. This is its path here. Jabal Baba. The project that begins from this point extending to the south northeastern region of Azariah. In the town of Azariah, the E1 project targets more than 22 Bedouin communities in the. Why couldn't you have done this for me? I can't. Oh my God, this is hard. The south northeastern region of Azariah In the town of Azria, the E1 project targets more than 22 Bedouin communities of the Jahalin Arabs in this region. The E1 project aims to connect the Mala Adumin settlement and the settlement blocks in the eastern slopes of Jerusalem to the city of Jerusalem in an effective way. The E1 project aims to separate the northern West Bank from its south. That is, if we talk about the E1 project, it is the final death knell for the dream of establishing a Palestinian state with contiguous borders throughout the entire region. We do not know what awaits these families and these communities on the second day of implementing this plan, on the second day of opening these streets, on the second day of starting to implement the plan. The fate of the families is unknown, that is, in the light of Arab subservience and submission, in light of any international silence. Everyone is unaware of what is happening, but the people here in the communities in Jabal Baba and the Bedouin communities are clinging until the last breath to staying in their homes, staying on their lands, staying in their communities. Is this your idea of fun, Lenny? I'm kidding. This is my idea of fun. Project Iwan has been suspended by the international community for more than 20 years, and this plan has been proposed by the occupation. It was suspended by the international community today while the entire world is preoccupied with the ongoing war of extermination in the Gaza Strip. That is, the extremist settler government, Smotrich, with Netanyahu's mobilization, began implementing this plan in the West Bank and in the city of Jerusalem in particular. We hope that the international community will stand up to its responsibilities to curb the settler government and stop the implementation of this plan. I mean, let's face it, Israel's plan is to eradicate all the Palestinians. It's a one-state solution, and that one state does not include Palestinians. Today, Smotrich will come out with new decisions regarding new annexation and new confiscations. I'm a Bedouin, which means I have lost hope in any future for me and my children, because the Bedouin, as you know, cannot live inside the city or inside the village due to the presence of the livestock that he owns. And that is, the future has become unknown. Israel has demolished more than 80 demolitions in this community, but every time they demolished, we would rebuild the houses again, of course, with support from the European Union. Today, we do not know what will come tomorrow, as I mentioned to you, but we will resist all decisions with what we can. With what we can, and there is no alternative. We have no alternative to get out of this. Undeniably ethnic cleansing, which is, yeah, that's the most good faith, the most charitable way. Appalling. But BB had time to go on a podcast and discuss, I believe he's talking about the PR war going on with Israel. Oh, he's, and I love it. I got this from RT. Criticism of Israel is un-American, according to Netanyahu. Bibi accuses pro-American pundits of tearing away support for Israel. I love RT included the commentary. He could have just said Tucker Carlson by his name.
Because what you're saying, and look, I have a sympathy with what you're saying, of course I do. But when you say that this is just noise, I would strongly push back against that, Prime Minister, because if you look at particularly Gen Z and the younger generation's opinions and view on Israel, they are, to put it mildly, Prime Minister, deeply unfavorable. And those kids now, they are going to be the next ones to go into politics. They're going to be the next decision makers. That must present you with a very real worry that Israel will not enjoy the same level.
BB really starting to look like those anti-Semitic tropes of what Israelis look like. He looks like a goddamn goblin sitting there.
Support, particularly from the US, that it has once done when those kids come to be the decision makers.
Well, ask them in Britain and ask them in the US what they think of Britain and the US. What do they think? And what are they saying? There's a big campaign, and it's organized and systemic and it's financed to tear away traditional elements of support from Israel. It's not just happening by itself. A lot of it is organized. And if it's organized, you can counter it too. At the appropriate time, you just have to concentrate your attention to it. And I agree with you that it's an important point. And I'll tell you what they're saying.
So he's accusing some shadowy cabal of promoting anti-Semitism.
They're saying, for example, those in America are saying, we're pro-American. You're pro-American, and you attack Israel that is fighting the people who tried to assassinate President Trump twice. Not
what?
Once.
They would have been doing us a favor. We're on their side.
The American embassies, who murdered 241 American Marines in Beirut, who murdered and wounded thousands of Americans in Iraq and Afghanistan with Iranian IEDs. Iran that chants death to America, death to the traitors, to the heathen, and so on. This is the people you support, and in fact, that's where the support. Not only that, you heard some other outlandish things that they do. I mean, they're some of their most prominent spokesmen. They say, well, Netanyahu is trying to drag Trump into a war. Did you hear that? You hear that one?
Mm-hmm.
These two dipshits. Like, I hate this motherfucker. Oxford does this series of like debates, and that's where his debate went viral because he got up and talked about wokeness and shit. And it was so fallacious it wasn't even funny. And it disgusted me that Oxford actually allowed him to get up there and make that many fallacious arguments. No humans blink at the same time. Simultaneous blinking. You're right. I hadn't even noticed that.
Trump into a war. Did you hear that? You hear that one?
Mm-hmm.
That's so weird. Oh, Flash, you're right. What a stupid name for a podcast, too. Trigonometry. What the fuck is the U.S. doing sending a warship off the coast of Venezuela?
3 U.S. destroyers carrying 4,000 Marines are heading in the direction of Venezuela. According to the White House,
for what purpose?
Target drug cartels that traffic narcotics to the United States.
Bullshit.
The move comes just days after President Trump raised the reward for helping to apprehend Venezuela's leader Nicolás Maduro to $50 million. In response, Maduro is mobilizing 4.5 million militiamen and women throughout the country.
Que el mundo lo sepa.
Let the world know, let the empires know, that today more than ever, Venezuela can defend itself. That's why we're in peace and will stay in peace.
But while some say Trump is just trying to intimidate oil-rich Venezuela's government, Maduro has grounded all drones for 30 days, an indication that he might be expecting an attack from the air rather than sea. President Trump hasn't ruled out anything, says his spokesperson.
He's prepared to use every element of American power to stop drugs from flooding into our...
We're gonna invade Venezuela, aren't we? This is insane. I did not have this on my 2025 bingo. Plague, invasion of Venezuela.
Our country, and to bring those responsible to justice. The Maduro regime is not the legitimate government of Venezuela. It is a narco-terror cartel. In Maduro, it is the view of this administration, is not a legitimate president. He is a fugitive head of this cartel who has been indicted in the United States for trafficking drugs into the country.
The last time the U.S. government used drug trafficking as a rationale to overthrow a regional government was in 1989 in Panama.
In some way,
Panama.
I mean, he can say, look, the threat is real. It's not just propaganda.
No, we tried to overthrow him and it failed. Didn't we even have like what's his name? Eric Prince, didn't he try to conduct a coup or some shit and they caught his men?
Here are the Americans. Here are the ships. So let's close ranks behind the government.
Even countries that have no love for Maduro are concerned. President Trump's vow to send warships to the Caribbean and elsewhere in Latin America to stop the flow of drugs to the United States is being seen as a threat to more than just Venezuela. It could apply to many.
One, it's bullshit, and two, we want more drugs.
It may be Venezuela tomorrow. It could be any one of them. Many are wondering why President Trump has chosen to implement such an aggressive move in the United States' backyard, while he portrays himself as a global peacemaker. Lucia Newman, Al Jazeera, Santiago.
Don't miss out. Get the full picture.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I know what he wants to distract from. A judge has denied the DOJ's request.
A judge in New York has denied the Department of Justice's request to unseal grand jury material from Jeffrey Epstein's criminal case. It comes as the DOJ is now 2 days away from handing over records to Congress related to Epstein's sex trafficking investigation as part of a subpoena by the House Oversight Committee. Washington, D.C. Bureau Managing Editor Catherine Falders has more.
Alex, we're just learning that a third federal judge in New York has denied the Department of Justice request to unseal additional grand jury materials from Jeffrey Epstein's case. Remember, DOJ...
The grand jury materials aren't what we want to see anyway.
...had asked judges in both Florida and New York to unseal grand jury materials that were related to his case, but also admitted in court filings that they didn't believe any of those materials would necessarily be new. So we do know that previously 2 federal judges denied.
They're just looking for something. They're like, we released something.
This request. Now, it's worth pointing out that DOJ made this request also with the knowledge that this was only a small portion of the Jeffrey Epstein files that they said back in July they would no longer be releasing. So all of this is happening at the same time as congressional subpoenas.
Now remember, they had 1,000 FBI agents combing the pages to find out how many times Trump was mentioned. What I am assuming now that they say they are not releasing the files is that he is too far intertwined. There was no way they could just wipe him from all the files.
We know that the Republican-controlled Oversight Committee in Congress, headed up by Chairman Comer, he sent a subpoena to the Department of Justice requesting the full unredacted Epstein files. So that would be a number of documents that DOJ and FBI had said that they had reviewed. Now, they were originally supposed to turn over those documents to Congress on Tuesday. Now, that deadline has been extended to Friday, so we do expect the department to cooperate with that congressional subpoena and turn over those documents. Now, whether we see any of those publicly is still to be determined. This is all part of this larger congressional investigation where you've seen Republicans subpoena either former DOJ officials, one of Trump's former Attorney General's Bill Barr, for example, appeared for testimony earlier this week behind closed doors. They also have sent subpoenas to DOJ for these records. So there's lots of questions about what exactly DOJ will begin turning over. One of those documents that obviously is highly anticipated, unclear if it will be turned over to Congress, though I'm told by sources it most likely will, is that transcript of that interview between the Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche and Jeffrey Epstein's former top associate Ghislaine Maxwell. Now, that was a transcript that was generated, we're told by sources, that was from about 9 hours of interviews that were conducted last month, and we still don't know exactly what occurred during that interview. Now, they will likely turn
I don't trust it
to Congress privately, but there is a possibility that DOJ could decide to release some of these records publicly. We've reported and we know that there have been discussions behind the scenes about whether to release the audio and the transcript of that interview, something we could potentially also see this week. Alex.
All right, Catherine, thank you.
Hey, right-wingers, here's a meme for you. Trump is a pedophile. You're dumb and gullible. I like how somebody on Twitter was like, do you believe everybody in a picture with Epstein is a pedophile? And I was like, no, I don't. I specifically believe Trump is because of the overwhelming evidence and the fact that, like, this isn't the only picture. There's like 50 of them that we know of. If there was a picture of Joe Biden with his hand around Jeffrey Epstein smiling, we'd never hear the end of it from these fuckers. On the other hand, I post this meme and people are like, that's not even a real picture. There are real pictures of them and you had to use a fake picture. I'm like, no, that's not a fake picture. That is absolutely real. Bill Barr testified in front of Congress, I think last week. It was at the end of the week last week.
What did he say today? What did the committee learn? Nicole Killian joins me now for answers to that. Nicole, great to see you. So, what did he say? If it's knowable, or more knowable, probably, is the various members' reaction to whatever he said.
Yeah, absolutely. And as anything with Congress, as it pertains to Congress, I should say.
Opinions differ.
Exactly, depending on party. So obviously the chairman, James Comer, said that they did learn quite a bit today from the Attorney General. Democrats on the other hand.
Oh, it's today? I thought it was last week.
We didn't learn more than things that we've already read in the press, right? That being said, we did hear a little bit from Bill Barr himself. He didn't really take questions, but did say a couple of words acknowledging that this was a good conversation and also standing by this ruling that he and others made at the time of Jeffrey Epstein's death, that he does stand by the fact that he still believes that it was a suicide. Take a listen to what lawmakers thought of his deposition today.
I don't think we're learning much from the questioning from the House Republicans. It doesn't seem like this is something where they are truly caring about the victims and about trying to get to the bottom of what's happening, whereas on the Democratic side, we are asking the tough questions and trying to get some answers.
The Democrats' goal is to try to dig up some type of dirt on President Trump. And what Attorney General...
We don't have to dig up dirt on him. Did you not see that? I just showed it. I just showed it, Comer. Trump is a pedophile. You're dumb and gullible. We don't have to dig up anything.
Our testified in there was that he never had conversations with President Trump pertaining to a client list. He didn't know anything about a client list.
So again, as you heard the
Oh, I'm sure that Bill Barr did not have to have conversations with Trump about what to do in this instance.
And dare say, he feels that Democrats are politicizing this issue. Nonetheless, though, he did acknowledge that the Attorney General, former Attorney General, answered all of the committee's questions. And keep in mind that Bill Barr is really the first of several witnesses that this panel is expected to call over the next couple of weeks, including a host of former Attorney Generals. We're going to hear from Alberto Gonzales. They have called Eric Holder, Merrick Garland, among others, also the former FBI directors, James Comey, Robert Mueller, in addition to the Clintons. So all of these depositions they're expecting to take place, obviously behind closed doors, over the next several weeks.
And just before you came in, a few moments before you came in, Nicole, I saw an email from the Oversight Committee saying the Department of Justice is in the process of responding to a subpoena for underlying documents in its possession.
Yeah, that's right. Because keep in mind, the panel had also issued a subpoena not only to some of those individuals that I just named, but also to the Department of Justice as well, to again push on the department to publicly release the rest of the Epstein files. We know that the administration has kind of started that process, but obviously there has been a huge clamoring on Capitol Hill for these full files to be declassified. So tomorrow was actually the deadline for the Department of Justice to respond. The committee acknowledged they did didn't expect the department to meet that deadline, which is why we're seeing that statement late today acknowledging, yes, the agency is cooperating, but we may not get everything we need by that deadline.
Nicole Killian, thank you very, very much.
Did they ask Bill Barr about his father's connections with Epstein? I'm sure they didn't. Go down to Texas, where they had passed a law requiring the Ten Commandments. Blah, blah, blah. I can't talk tonight. Texas passed a law requiring the Ten Commandments to be displayed in classrooms. A federal judge said, nuh-uh.
This morning, a federal judge temporarily blocked Senate Bill 10. That's a Texas law that would require public schools to post the Ten Commandments in classrooms come September 1st. As the KPRC2 News' Zach Lajway explains, the injunction only applies to districts of the defendants in the case, which impacts Houston area students.
Students in Houston ISD, Fort Bend ISD, and Cypress Fairbanks ISD will not see the Ten Commandments hanging in their classrooms on September 1st. A federal judge issued a preliminary injunction that temporarily blocks SB 10 from taking effect, prohibiting school districts of defendants from displaying the religious readings in classrooms.
Where do we go from here?
Right, so I would expect the
Martin Scorsese looking asshole
to appeal to the Fifth Circuit. They can challenge a preliminary injunction. The problem they're going to face is the same issue that the district court faced, which is that the Fifth Circuit has already ruled on this in connection with a Louisiana law that is extremely similar to the Texas law, and the Fifth Circuit, which is not known as a bastion of liberalism, struck down that law as being unconstitutional as establishing religion.
Those who support SB 10 are optimistic.
I do think that this will eventually be...
That's exactly what I expect somebody that supports this fucking bullshit to look like. Oh my God.
Constitutional as establishing religion.
Those who support SB 10 are optimistic.
I do think that this will eventually be overturned. I do feel confident that we're going to be able to uphold this law and the Ten Commandments will move forward and be placed in the schoolrooms.
Based on what, dumb bitch?
Is mother of 2 young boys in Montgomery County. She led an effort to create 5,000 posters of the Ten Commandments to donate to schools, as the law does not require districts to spend taxpayer dollars, but it does require schools to accept donated posters of the Ten Commandments.
Donated posters.
Continuing with your effort to distribute posters of the Ten Commandments?
We actually finished last night. We delivered our last 330 posters to Conroe ISD, and Texas Values gave them a check for $6,000 to cover the rest of the posters. So we are done here in Montgomery County.
Chip Owens is a parent of a student in the Houston area. He opposes SB 10.
I'm excited that state government is working the way it should. I'm excited that a school district will be will be able to have their freedom from religion observed in the First Amendment. I'm wishful
freedom from religion.
Other districts follow suit.
While the law is temporarily blocked, the debate over faith in government is far from over. In Houston, Zach Lajway, KPRC2 News.
No, we should ask them to put up the 7 tenets of Satanism. That is what should be displayed in all classrooms. One should strive to act with compassion and empathy toward all creatures in accordance with reason. Beautiful. The struggle for justice is an ongoing and necessary pursuit that should prevail over laws and institutions. Amazing. One's body is inviolable. Fucking motherfucker. Please give me a pronunciation on it.
Inviolable.
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 Inviolable. Inviolable.
Inviolable.
Inviolable. Subject to one's own will alone. God damn it. I knew the word. I needed a pronunciation because I can't talk tonight. I'm sorry. Fuck, 2 of you? The freedoms of others should be respected, including the freedom to offend, to willfully and unjustly encroach upon the freedoms of another is to forego one's own. Beliefs should conform to one's best scientific understanding of the world. One should take care never to distort scientific facts to fit one's belief. People are fallible. If one makes a mistake, one should do one's best to rectify it and resolve any harm that might have been caused. Every tenet is a guiding principle designed to inspire nobility in action and thought. The spirit of compassion, wisdom, and justice should always prevail over the written or spoken word. Yeah, the 2 10 minutes should cancel out. Boom. Justin is free to say fuck, fuckity, fuck, fuck, fuck. I like the way Clinically thinks. Earlier today, we watched the Texas State House pass their new, not exponential, no, bad flash. The Texas State House passed their new congressional map by a vote of 88 to 52.
To live now from Fox as they move quickly in the State House there in Texas on this vote for a new congressional map. Let's listen into some of these moments that we were watching unfold in real time.
Just like 3 more. They just
I got 2 questions I wanted to ask him.
So another one got canceled out.
Yeah.
Have all members voted? 54 ayes, 83 nays. The motion for extension of time. Move passage.
I'm sure it's just a coincidence there's 88 of them.
The question occurs on passage to engrossment of House Bill 4. This is a record vote. Clerk, ring the bell. Serves 100 voting aye. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? 88 ayes, 52 nays. House Bill 4 passes to engrossment. Members, it is the intent of the chair to adjourn briefly to begin a new legislative day. The call remains in place and the door.
That was the passage earlier. That sucks.
See that
ran by. Come here, buddy.
As this House passes the congressional map, as they will kind of resume immediately. But I do want to give you just an update on this from Stephen Dialer, Fox 14, saying the vote 88 to 52 as HB4, the congressional redistricting map, passes. The House will come back in just a few short minutes to fully pass the bill and eventually send it to the Senate. It's been a whirlwind day, an extended day of debate there on that floor in Austin, Texas, as they are talking about this new congressional map. Democrats calling it a power grab. And you can see there right here on that floor as they will resume here in just a matter of moments from.
Well, the Democrats agreed to come back on the condition that California move ahead with their redistricting, which happened. And there was one other condition, I think, that the special session was ended as it was supposed to, and that happened. Now, the one Texas Democrat who stayed in the state house overnight, which, as I pointed out, by the way, I don't want to give her too much praise because she had a book she was selling. So she kind of did this as a publicity stunt for her book that she had on the front of her desk the whole time. This is Representative Nicole Collier was on a call with the DNC earlier today when she was informed that apparently she was committing a felony.
Today we are setting the stage so that we can have a legal record to present to the court about these proposed maps that we know are violating of Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. These maps will prevent Black and brown individuals from selecting the candidate of their choice because they're cracking and packing these districts. They are splitting them up and they're not allowing communities that have shared interests to vote for the candidate of their choice.
I've been really buoyed by the conversations I've had with Democratic governors throughout this country and all of our Democratic elected
This is
officials.
DNC Chair Ken Morton.
They said it's a felony for me to do this. Apparently, I can't be on the floor or in the bathroom. Well, you told me I was only allowed to be here in the bathroom. No, hang on. Bye, everybody. I've got to go.
That is outrageous. And first of all, let me tell you something. Representative Collier in the bathroom has more dignity.
Oh, fuck yeah. How's Cory Booker stick his big dick in this?
That is outrageous. What they're trying to do right there is silence an American leader, silence a black woman. And that is outrageous. And I hope everybody took note of that. The fact that she can't even let her voice be heard is freaking outrageous.
Freaking outrageous. He was talking to Gavin Newsom there. Well, so stuck his big old dick in this. We'll get to him, don't worry. Yesterday, we watched the clip of the drama in the California State House as they proposed their own redistricting. Republicans in that scenario thought that the Democrats were being outrageous, mounting an opposition, but Republicans in Texas think, well, the Supreme Court told us we could do it.
Drama ramping up tonight over a plan by state Democrats to put new congressional maps on the November ballot. Republicans already filing a lawsuit in opposition. Eyewitness News reporter Jory Rand live with what both sides are saying about it tonight. Jory?
Yeah, Mark, this is basically a race against time. Democrats want to get that new congressional map that would net them 5 seats in Congress on the ballot for a special election this November. Because that is so soon, less than 2.5 months from now, they have to get it done by Friday. So right now they are moving full steam ahead.
They are overwhelmingly.
Mr. Talkie Pie, you are out of order.
Fireworks today in the state capitol as Democrats advance their plan to gerrymander the state's congressional map out of the Elections Committee.
This is outrageous.
The move is in response to President Trump's directive to Texas state lawmakers to gerrymander their map to gain 5 House seats for Republicans. Democrats there, like Republicans here, would be disenfranchised from fair representation.
The people don't want this. We want independent. I happen to be from one of the districts that will get decimated with 0 representation.
Whether the people of California want this is actually the point here. Democrats are moving to put the new maps on the November ballot.
Yep, DJ Dub.
They have to do so by Friday. So today, Republicans...
What we need is nonpartisan districts. You've got AI. AI can absolutely slice up fucking congressional districts and do it do it in a non-political way that's just about the numbers. And tell AI, let's make them the most competitive you possibly can. And do it nationwide. Absolutely. We need a nationwide law. And we want it to be the most competitive seats that they can. That way the voters actually win.
Sued to try and slow down the process. Orange County Republican Congresswoman Young Kim had this to say yesterday about the plan.
I believe this is really a Sacramento power grab.
It's amazing how none of them had any objections when Texas was doing that.
Tonight, we caught up with Democratic Congressman Gil Cisneros at a town hall in South El Monte.
That's the thing that I've seen is that I've seen Republicans call Democrats hypocrites for doing this. You dumbasses. That makes you the hypocrites, not Democrats.
A Sacramento power grab. This is a vote that's going to be put forth to the people. Everybody knows what the maps are going to look like. We are going to ask the people in November if they support those maps.
And yet, California is doing it by appearance we're putting it up for a vote. We let the people know. So, I mean, it does look far more democratic than what Texas is doing.
So a little history here. Back in 2008, Californians voted to change the state's constitution to have an independent commission draw the lines on congressional maps. If approved in November, this would change the constitution and would remain in effect for 2026 midterms, the 2028 presidential election, and the 2030 midterms. But after that and the new 2030 census, it would return once again to an independent commission in 2031. And that's something Democrats are banking on to try and convince voters to vote for this, that it's only temporary in response to what President Trump and Texas, as well as other Republican legislatures, are doing around the country.
I can't imagine it doesn't pass.
Tonight, Jory Rand, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Jory, thank you.
This is just an off-year election, though, so. But then again, people that are very politically attuned are the ones that are going to be voting in this off-year election. So possibly low turnout actually used to favor Republicans and not Democrats. That seems to be changing. That seems to be an axiom that has been flipped on its head in the last 10 years or so. Because now, like, Republicans are able to activate a bunch of dipshits with podcasts. It's odd. And now the people that tend to vote in the off-year elections tend to be more informed. 20, 30 years ago, it was your church telling you to go out and vote in the special election. The right is telling us they got the joke. They get the joke. They get the joke.
And that was my point, is that if you're doing this and it's not authentic and you're trying to do somebody else who you say is Hitler and you think that we don't get the joke, oh no, we get the joke. It's just not funny. And that was my point.
It's not funny. It's not funny. That's why it's fucking insane that you guys elected a guy that does exactly that. You hypocrites. Hypocrites. Oh, I find what Newsom is doing hilarious. And here he is fucking dunking on him some more.
No, I mean, even poor Kid Rock. These guys, they've become a little precious, haven't they? These folks at Fox. They're like, oh, this is so unbecoming of a governor. Oh. And meanwhile, they sit there reading his tweets every single day. Are they that tonally out of touch? I mean, it's jaw-dropping.
Yes.
Precious and concerned. New York Post has gotten all of a sudden. How the Wall Street Journal head board is like, oh, no, we can't have this. I mean, what? I hope we're exposing it all. I hope we're exposing it all, and I hope we're entertaining some people. No, I mean, even poor Kid Rock. These guys, they've become a little precious, haven't they? These folks at Fox. They're like, oh, this.
Apparently, Kid Rock had some sort of comment that he fired back. I saw a podcaster say, like, he got 4 million views. Newsom is destroyed.
It's so unbecoming of a governor. Oh. And meanwhile, they sit there reading his tweets every single day. Are they that tonally out of touch?
Yes.
It's John.
Yes.
How precious and concerned.
Joe says yes.
It's gotten all of a sudden. How the Wall Street Journal head board is like, oh, no, we can't have this. I mean, what? I hope we're exposing it all. I hope we're exposing it all, and I hope we're entertaining some people.
I mean, I've been entertained by it. That's for fucking sure. I really like the meme with Kid Rock and Hulk Hogan, Tucker Carlson. Flash, I'm pretty sure he thinks he's winning the 2028 primary already. I think I'm on the Pritzker bandwagon. And I've said it on the show before. The most progressive president we have ever had. Also one of the wealthiest. I think that's not a coincidence. I think you kind of need to have fuck you money to compete. And J.D. Pritzker has fuck you money and seems to have more progressive ideas than Gavin Newsom. So if given the opportunity in a primary, I would support Pritzker over Newsom absent a different candidate I aligned with more. That's my assessment. I'm not turned off by Newsom. Probably, I think he would be far to the left of Bill Clinton. I would hope. Remember, Clinton was a governor from Arkansas that they brought on to be a third way. I just don't feel like it's AOC's time yet, and I feel like she is more important elsewhere other than running for president. But if she is the nominee or if she's the vice presidential candidate, I will absolutely support her. I would rather see her in the Senate. I think she would do a great job in the Senate. And I think her time in 2038, Malord, can you not call him Newscomb? Can you not give in to like the right-wing framing of shit? Don't use their nickname for him, for God's sakes. Do not cede ground to the right-wingers. Protests erupted in D.C.
But we in D.C. are not afraid. We will continue to be out here.
They're afraid, and what they think that they need to do is to clean up crime and to stand for democracy is bringing in tanks and troops as they cut funding for healthcare and for housing. We are on the side of the people. We want occupation of no communities, and we want to be investing in the very things that make communities thrive, and it's not more military.
I feel like we are on the knife's edge of a moment in history. We have the playbook. We have the fascist, tyrannical, wannabe playbook. But we have the opportunity right now, because we have the playbook, because we see what's going on, because we know what they're trying to do. We as the American public have a moment to stop this, to stand together, and to resist. This story has not yet been written.
Very cathartic to watch Hegseth, Miller, and J.D. Vance be loudly booed.
Some violent, crazy people who are screaming at kids with a few crazy liberals who are screaming at the vice president. But I think that's a very worthwhile trade to make, because we want our people to be able to enjoy our beautiful city.
How is he a piece of shit? You're doing what the right does. You're just like calling him names, and you're doing vibes and feels. I don't want you to use the framing that the right wing uses. Simple enough. Don't cede ground to the right wingers. Don't adopt their framing. That is why we are in the situation that we are in. We lose the goddamn propaganda war. Oh, he's neoliberal about things? I hadn't noticed. I don't understand it. You've got troops to fight against fascism. Don't fucking undercut them. Now, it's okay to criticize Newsom, but like, for the love of God. I mean, asking for clarification about what? I am really tired of leftist kneecapping people. Like, we have to fight fascism. You're not gonna do it by fucking kneecapping everybody. The name call, yes, there's plenty, goddamn. The issue is, don't adopt right-wing fucking framing of shit. Good Lord. Okay, cool. We can fight against Newsom. It's a hell of a lot easier to fight fascism with Newsom in office than it is with Trump in office. Everyone agrees, right? A hell of a lot easier if Newsom is in office for us to be able to fight fascism, get things done in administration than it is with Trump, right? Like I've had Melanie stupid ass Cosmic Fox on goddamn Twitter was like, we have to stop voting for the Democrats. I'm like, yeah, I've watched that for 50 fucking years, and that has turned out horrible. I've watched the Republicans vote reliably and get everything they goddamn want. It doesn't happen with one goddamn politician. You can't expect Biden to come in and save you. It is a process. It took 50 years for the Republicans for the far right to take over the Republican Party. We can take over the Democratic Party, but not if we just keep kneecapping ourselves all the goddamn time. Fine, whatever you guys say. Cool.
Refusing to get out of the pool for dinner until that look from Mom. Tonight in Goddard, Kansas, outside Wichita at the Tanganyika Wildlife Park, a moment caught on camera that's now been viewed worldwide an incredible 45 million times. Meet Mars, the endangered pygmy hippo, who was born here at the zoo just 6 weeks ago. Just 3,000 of them remain in the wild. His care team weighing him and with him around the clock. His mom, Posey, caring for him too. Mars climbing on the rocks, swimming, getting bigger every day.
Fuck, I am so goddamn tired. I'm leaving the goddamn country.
Stop playing and come have dinner.
I'm fucking tired. You guys can deal with this shit. Go on. Go on. I'm gonna find my way out of this fucker. I always thought that it was privilege of me to leave the fucking country. But you know what? Fighting is too exhausting.
No luck.
Well, I'm gonna exercise my privilege and get the fuck out. Because fuck.
The rescue. Posey turning back, giving her son a look, what many are now calling the mom stare. And just watch. Mars takes notice. He immediately stops playing. That son gets out of the water and follows his mother in for dinner. The zoo documenting the remarkable and very relatable moment. And right here tonight,
David, welcome to the Tanganyika Wildlife Experience.
Matt Fouts, director of Tanganyika Wildlife Park.
It's incredible how just universal, all different species seem to have that mom stare down. It's hilarious to see Posey do that with Mars every day when he does not want to go inside. He loves outside, and so it's a pretty hilarious thing to see.
And tonight, an invitation from that zoo to come see the hippo for yourself.
We hope everyone will come out to Kansas, to Tanganyika Wildlife Park, check him out. And so, your mission to Mars actually is to Kansas.
Well, thank you for the invite, that baby hippo, not messing with Mom.